Is Aquaman 2 worth seeing? The short answer is yes. It's easy to hate on DC movies, and for good reason, but with Aquaman 2 being the final film of that original universe started in 2013, it's worth giving this one final goodbye in theaters. Aquaman is a father now, which is wholesome to see. His wife, played by Amber Heard, is the mother of the child, and the two deal with the typical tropes of being a parent. It's fine. A common theme you'll start to notice in this video is that things are just fine. There are parts trying to be funny, like the child peeing on Aquaman's face. It just falls a little flat for me. I saw the first Aquaman in theaters, and I honestly don't remember much of it. I know his brother was king and mad at him, and maybe it's on me for not looking up a summary before I went to see the second one, but Aquaman is not the type of movie I want to do research for before I see it. For a superhero movie, I want good action, good pacing, cool environments, and this movie didn't really have any of those. The environments, specifically of Atlantis, could have been cooler. There's a small narrated recap of the first movie, which is cheesy, but I guess good for people like me, but it didn't help much, and it was more like it wanted to gain a few laughs. I was confused on the villain's motivation, as he just immediately says he wants to kill Aquaman. They eventually show a flashback to the first movie where you see that Aquaman was responsible for the death of his father, and then it made sense, but I was confused at first. The villain in this film is Black Manta. He grabs this special trident and gets engulfed by this evil god in his mind. Again, it's fine. It's nothing special, and it's honestly pretty bland at some points. He doesn't really have any powers other than his suit shooting this sonic blast that knocks out all the Atlantean people, and he has a team of people working for him, almost like an army of people that just isn't explained how they got there. It reminded me of like an Amazon warehouse, because there's just people working in the background and you don't know what they're doing. And his lines aren't really memorable. It was a good performance by Yahya, but not great. Aquaman breaks his brother, who is played by Patrick Wilson, out of prison, and the two go looking for Black Manta. This is where the movie turns into a buddy adventure film, much like Thor and Loki's dynamic in Marvel, but for Aquaman it falls flat. His cringy and poorly timed dialogue is out of the ordinary for Jason Mamoa, who is a cool guy, and I'll always love him for Khal Drogo, but he calls pizza za and continuously reminds Orm that he indeed is the older brother. It's just very campy and nothing special. Again, it's fine. He even calls his brother Loki at one point, directly referencing Marvel.
True king builds bridges.
Yes, there are good moments in the film. The fight scene at the end of the second act is very well choreographed with good direction and timing. While sneaking into Black Mantis's Amazon warehouse, there is a cool one-take shot that follows Aquaman and his brother into the control room where they break in and punch some people. There's a scene where they go to an underwater casino of sorts, and there's a bunch of creatures that are well designed, kind of like the Star Wars bar scene. And the final fight is very well directed. Mainly the second half of the movie is better. It felt like the first half was rushed through, maybe because Amber Heard had a bigger role and they had to reduce it. I'm not sure. Randall Park's character is probably the best part of the movie. His role is somewhat minimal, but the scenes with him in it are much more enjoyable. The whole movie felt weightless to me. Every decision and scene felt obvious and unrewarding. A lot of the scenes include stressful moments with Aquaman, but as a viewer, you know he's not going to die, so you just don't really feel the stress. I actually think the movie could have benefited from being more horror-esque. The ocean is dark and scary, and there's multiple scenes where they play with that, but never fully lean into it. My biggest problem with the film is how they portrayed Jason Mamoa. The dialogue is really bad, and the lines are flat, and the emotional scenes are just boring. There's an ending that's like Black Panther with the Atlanteans showing themselves to the public. It's alright. Overall, I gave this film a 2.5 stars on Letterboxd, but the tickets were only $9, so it was worth seeing and getting some popcorn. If you like this video and want more like it, let me know in the comments. If you think I said anything wrong or that you disagree with, let me know. We could debate in there. And subscribe if you're new.